Hello guys and welcome to episode 80 of my Rome 2 Total War campaign with the Iceni tribe. We've come a very long way in this campaign and now we are sieging Armavir. We have a reasonably small army actually to face up against what seems to be a very large garrison, but we'll see how it goes. Probably not going to be making much use of my ladders as I do have 2 units of Britain ballistas, but let's not talk too much. Let's just jump straight in and fight this very large siege on the battle map. Okay, so we're going to leave it nice and dry. We're going to start the deployment straight away. We're going to drop all of these ladders and we will replace them with ballistas to actually blow down this wall. It's actually quite a nice position that we've started in. So, as a matter of fact, I might actually get these ladders out of the way first by bringing them over here and dropping them there. And then we can place the ballistas where they were. Okay, so that should work. We will just quickly line up my elite men behind the ballistas. Let's leave behind them, and the slingers behind them. So we're not going to be able to do much with the horses until we get the majority of the rest of the men in, so I'm just going to leave them where they are pretty much. We do have some scorpions as well sitting on the flank here, but not sure what they're going to be able to do. Maybe they can take a few men off the top of the walls. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll just jump into the cinematic view, see if I can snipe a few people from or with the manual fire. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's start the battle. No more messing about. We'll take down a couple of walls right next to each other. And then I'll jump onto the scorpions and I'll see if I can actually take out some of the men on top of the walls. Right, let's jump into the cinematic view of the Scorpion. See if we can hit someone. No, bit high there. It's going to be incredibly hard. It's going to be in the wall. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. It must be nearly there, surely. It's really hard to like stop it from glitching over and under. Try that. Nope. Bounced off the wall. Probably much better off leaving this to the... Oh, that was really close. Much better off leaving this to the AI to take care of, so I'm going to do just that. And I will target them on these mercenary Eastern Javelin men standing on this wall. We'll see if we can get a few hits there. Unlikely that they'll actually score any good hits, but we'll see. Taking off the front of the walls here and crushing these units. That's 99% wall damage. This unit's going to get destroyed once that wall goes down, and then I'll target the places either side.
The walls are breached!
Okay, so we'll target here now. And here as well. Then once this wall's broken down, we can push straight through with the majority of my men. I'm going to start walking them forwards now. By the time these walls are broken down, they should be able to move straight through.
Slingers! Run to a minute!
The army walking on past the ballistas, waiting for the walls to be destroyed. Don't think the scorpions have really done much damage. Hopefully if I can destroy this wall there before the majority of their men get down, I can take a lot of them out, which would be nice. Broke off the front of that wall there. Broke off the front of this one. There's like one more volley for this wall and it's broken.
The walls are breached.
And job done there. One more volley for the left side and that's broken. We do actually have ballista shots coming from inside
The walls are
their
breached.
town against my troops, which is very interesting, taking a bit of my own medicine. These ballistas here causing that damage. I'm going to start running them forwards. We'll make sure they get inside the settlement. We'll get the slingers inside as well so that they can fire up onto the back of these walls. If they keep running in, then they shouldn't be able to hit us for much longer. Killed quite a few men by doing that. There's a lot of missile troops on this wall here. Might be worth me getting a sword band unit and go and slicing them up. So we will do just that. Meanwhile, the rest of the troops can run round to the square. Okay. We'll get another unit of sword band to help out there.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Get the other two melee units to follow the rest of my army. Slingers can be told to start firing at the slingers on the walls. At the moment we just seem to be doing well to slaughter the majority of the men that are trying to get off the walls. And now up here we should be able to take out the slingers from behind. You can see they're dying very, very quickly. Anyone who stands in the way of this barrage is just getting slaughtered. It's like a machine gun firing up here. Put them onto quick reload and maybe we can do even more damage. And let's just finish off these Pontic Peltas, which are attacking my sword band. Shoot them in the back. Okay, that's job done there. Pretty awesome. Over here we've engaged in a huge melee. Whoa, look at that. That is insane. Okay, let's get these men out. We need to get my general in because my men are actually suffering from a bit of morale loss here, which is interesting. That is a huge melee there. Don't know why my men are wavering. Let's put them into a frenzy. Make sure that all the men are in a frenzy. Sword band unit that's in trouble. And I need to rout one of their units in order to make this go in our favour. So let's get these slingers round. We'll get these sword band off the wall to reinforce. And I'm going to try and break out a couple of units from the melee so that we can flank them. Because at the moment we're in a bit of a tight space here, which isn't going to work out very well against their spear units. So we've got to be careful. Let's war cry the enemy.
Our general is under attack.
Okay. We need to get him out of the way of the missile troops. He's being targeted.
Fearless warriors. We will pierce their hearts.
Here we're going to aim at the horse skirmishers. I'm going to get our veteran riders to go round the edge of this battle and engage with their horse skirmishers. maybe we'll actually just crush into the back of these Thurius spears and try and break their formations a bit. So if we can break through this gap here, we're pretty much going to get slaughtered, so try and use my cavalry to mess up the enemy. Slingers firing in, taking a lot of damage actually. We got Pontic Peltas behind us, that would be why. Okay, meanwhile up on this wall, we're actually being hurt quite significantly from the enemy Eastern Slingers. But we're finally breaking through on this side, which is nice. So we're going to continue pressing forwards with the veteran riders. We're going to actually retreat the riders now, because they are taking a lot of damage. We'll allow the rest of the other men to continue to push through. And we can hit them again shortly with those veteran riders once they've regrouped. Meanwhile, the horde can continue forwards. We'll get the slingers to regroup. And let's charge into these mob and so on.
The enemy have taken a tower.
Over on this side, it looks like the Eastern Slingers are coming off the tower with the other unit that killed my sword band. I don't know how they managed it. But we're going to use my general to go and run those down.
Our men flee the field of battle.
My horsemen are fully engaged. Just make sure that all of the rest of my men continue forwards. We're getting a bit stuck on their ballistas at the moment, which is a little bit of an issue. Some scythe chariots here, causing some issues. So we're going to make sure that we focus those. I'm going to put my chosen spear bands into anti-cavalry tactics so we can kill off those scythe chariots as soon as possible. And one of my veteran riders is routed, that's fine. I knew this would be a hard siege, even though the balance bar said it would be easier. But it's mainly due to the amount of troops and probably the way in which I actually approached the battle that made it a lot harder. I didn't pay much attention to my infantry as they moved towards the square, and therefore I got a bit confined into a small space, but we win the battle nonetheless, and because it's a siege, they will all die. So, we're going to end the battle there. Close victory, for sure. We did lose a unit of swordband, but we lost 931 men overall, and they lost 2,356, and probably a lot more because the general will of course die due to it being a siege. Ugh. So there we go, general dead, Pontic army down, and although that could have gone a little bit better, still job done. So our Maevir is ours, Merios has increased in rank. We're going to raise that of course, and we're going to do our repairs. We're going to create a commons here, and a sacred enclosure in our Maevir. And then we'll have to wait for the noble stags to repair themselves, because at the moment they are pretty depleted after that battle. Now I'm probably going to recruit a Levy Freeman unit as well to replace the sword band that I lost. And because he's increased in rank, we will make him a soldier. Okay, so that's worked out really well. What else do we have to finish up this turn? So, with Necromedia being taken, you have the Hunters of Cassidius still repairing their army and replenishing them. But technically we could attack a settlement with that army, but we're not going to. The Horns of Camillus need to continue down through the Odorisians' lands. We're going to make sure that they stop a bit short so that I can hire some mercenaries. Although it doesn't look like there's any mercenaries left, so maybe we'll have to do it in the Bithynians' lands. So I'll set them to a forced march instead, and we'll continue on our way. Meanwhile, the Swords of Power at Malva are doing really well here to recruit as many men as possible. We'll take them over towards Olbia to get some chariots in the army, and then they can move down through the Odorisian Kingdom's lands as well. And meanwhile, the Consorts of Morrigan are now fully replenished in Tyros, ready to move on pretty much. But down here, everything else is done, I think. We've got this army, the Will of Andrasta, recruiting some men, which is fine. The Iron Winds can't move out of Hurrah. And everything is good. Okay, so that's all I can do for this turn, I believe. Not really any event messages to see. Nope. Looks like we're all good. Let's have a quick look at our objectives. Only 9 more settlements to go. So let's not waste any more time after that siege of Armavir. Let's move straight on to the next turn. So we did get attacked last turn, which was nice, but there has been disruption caused by Araphroditus in Amasia. Tried to spread cultural tension. That's great. We got Ogatorix has been discovered, and subversion by Aridaeus to rally slaves at Amasia. We've got a show of force by Pantaleon on one of my armies. That's annoying, but we're still in range to attack Gabala, so that's okay. And I think that is everything done. But Mauritania has a population surplus, so let's jump over there quickly. We will expand the city and we will create a farmland there. We can think about upgrading the Great Hall. And in Mauritania, if we're upgrading the Great Hall, we can also upgrade the mint to give us more money, but I'm not going to do that because we are a bit low on money now. I am going to increase the fishing village though, so that we get more food, because we are still pretty low. Then we can have a look at the construction report. Commons in Miscata has been finished, and it looks like it has been in Nicomedia as well. So we're going to make this a chieftain's hold. Can change this artisan's lodging to a blacksmith. Although I'm not going to do that this turn actually, because I need the money for elsewhere. If we go back to the construction report, the Nicomedia needs the buildings upgraded, so we'll go with a chieftain's hold there and a tavern there, and that's used up the majority unless we can continue to upgrade the sacred enclosures in Telemus Therum. Yeah, we can go with the Grove of Rosmerta. Don't have the money to convert these buildings though. Okay, so we still have lots to do. I need to make sure that I keep track of the buildings that need to be upgraded in order to be able to finish the campaign efficiently. Either way, the Woad Warriors can continue on their way up towards Tyros. Finish looking at the event messages quickly though. Quartermaster's report, plenty of slingers being made this turn. You've got troubled populace in Nabatea. That's fine. Then we got Armenia. Okay. And sabotage attempt. Cosmas. Shipwrights report. We've deployed some more Briton slingers on the sea. We're going to use this navy now to take out the sea people of the Blemiers. They're of course going to retreat, but we're going to chase them down and I'm going to auto-resolve it. The reason of course I'm going to auto-resolve it is, like I've explained before, even though they have a depleted army, they still have 4 ships, and that's definitely enough to ram the crap out of my boats. So, we're going to go with an aggressive stance. and we will sink that navy once and for all. Decisive victory. Brilliant.
Your next command.
The navy traditions have increased,
Ready for orders.
and we will make them great marksmen to increase the effectiveness of these slingers. Then we're going to sail back to Miles Hormos. Actually, we could probably go down south to Telemistherin or to Charmuthas even to engage the Scourges of the Sea. So we're getting rid of all the pirates basically. Now the Iron Winds can surely move out of Hierapina now. Yes, they can. I'll leave it at +2. And we can move the Navy on to possibly attack side over here. I think that would be a nice target. Abraxas' Vanquishers are in range to attack Sinope. We've got the Mists of Doom. Can they move out of Jerusalem? Yes, they can. That is really awesome. And now if I put them into a normal stance, we can head up towards Palmyra. So we're giving me a range to attack that next turn. And then the army at Tyros can then move on to attack Antioch. Still got to get rid of all of these agents though. So I might as well recruit a scout if I can. Nope, because I don't have enough money because I just spent it all. But that's okay. To finish off though, we will jump in and fight the Battle of Sinope. We've got some very elite general unit to deal with. Lots of Eastern Spearmen, plenty of mob and some slingers, and a couple of navies to deal with. There shouldn't be too much of an issue. We've got all the sword band we need to cut those guys up, and the spear band as well. And obviously some Britain skirmishers, which are actually really effective against elite infantry, as long as they don't get engaged. Okay, so this should be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and assault this one on the battle map. So we're going to keep it dry. It should be a little bit easier than the siege I started off with in this episode. We're going to line up my men over here. And we'll probably just charge into the square. I might get a few units to split off and come around the sides on the flanks. And then we can crush them in the square. That'd probably be actually a good idea. If I get a couple of units to stay on this side, a couple of units of sword band, a couple of units of spear band, we'll get 3 units of sword band to stay in the middle with a couple of units of spears, and then we can get a couple of units of spearmen to stay on the right here. The skirmishers can go in the middle, and the scout riders and my general can go in the middle as well. Okay, so we're going to start the battle there. We're going to grab these men and begin to move forwards. We will grab these guys and run them towards the square as well. Get these ones on the right and get into a flanking position. Seem to be like almost retreating back to the square. That is a lot of men, look at that. It's unfortunate that I don't have any ballistas to weaken them early on, but hopefully with my general at the front we should be able to cause a lot of disruption to the enemy. With my backup of skirmishers as well, we should be good to pepper the enemy whilst we are engaged at the front. So we're going to run straight up and engage straight away. This middle unit can attack the Eastern Spearmen. We can rush past and hit the Eastern Spearmen behind as well. And we're going to keep the skirmishers in range and let them take their own targets with quick reload as my spear band engage as well. So, looks like they're taking a lot of damage from my skirmishers, which is nice.
Spears!
Our general is under attack.
Keep the spears engaged on the left, while my sword band attack in the middle. You can see what I was talking about with the skirmishers being able to fire over my own forces into the enemy. It's helping out a lot. To keep my general moving up into the middle, and this unit of spearband can flank on the right side. Now these units can run up this street and engage in the middle. And it looks like soon we'll be able to move this entire army forwards. Heroic nobles are breaking through. Make sure that we keep pressing on. Slaughtering a lot of men there. So that works out well. Now being engaged on this right side, engaged on the left side as well. I'm going to keep my men pushing forwards into the square. Looks like my men are being outnumbered on this side quite heavily, so I'm going to have to be really careful with those men. Going to get my scout riders to continue around the outside and come in from the back. Going to get the skirmishers to continue to move on so they can fire into the square as well. Make sure that these men keep finding targets, because at the moment they're just standing there and dying to missile troops. Make sure the scout riders continue their way round. You can engage these eastern slingers in the back. They're going to rout easily. A levy pikeman unit taking a lot of damage from the skirmishers. Not sure what my riders are doing. I told them to run round the back, but they didn't do what I told them. Make sure that none of these guys escape without losing a lot of men. And the scout riders can clear up these slingers. We can get this entire army to run into the back of these bronze shield pikemen. Get the skirmishers to move up and change their positions again. Now I'm going to get the scout riders to make this Pontic Peltash unit rout. And it looks like that's a job done. Now of course it's a siege. The only army that might escape is the reinforcing navy, but I am going to leave it there with a decisive victory. 449 losses for us, 3,218 for the enemy. So we've managed to crush the Pontic people once again, and we're going to raise Sinope. Bravo. Now that's going to make it go down by minus 42, which is going to be really close to causing a rebellion, but hopefully it won't. I can't actually repair any of these buildings this turn though, because I don't have the money to, unless I just stop the building of this chieftain's hold. And that might be more worth it. So we're going to create enclosed land there. I'm going to stop the production of this tavern as well, just so I can repair these buildings and stop these from turning into slums. Make another farm here as well. Okay. So that will sort out the public order that might be caused by destruction in their settlement. But now we're in a really good position to move inland to Turkey. We can move from Sinope to hit Ankara. We can move from Nicomedia to hit Pessinus. We can move the Blazabella to Cadros to hit Pergamon. And we've got the navy of the Iron Winds to hit Side. We're going to be able to move up the army of Tyros to hit Antioch, and the Mists of Doom to hit Palmyra. So many opportunities now. We can even move the armies on from Armavia to hit Tushpa or Arsamasata. Probably Arsamasata would be a better target for that army. We've also got the town of Gabala ready and ripe for the taking. But we're going to leave that for now, as it has indeed been my time. So we'll go over the rest of the armies in the next turn and move them on and crush plenty more cities. But unfortunately that's all for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. The Siege of Armavia was pretty awesome. Really close actually, a lot closer than it should have been. And then we obviously took over Sinope, which was the capital of the Pontics. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.